From the moment we enter school, we are fed a dangerous lie. If you work hard enough, you will be wealthy. But look around you. In the real world, the hardest workers are often the poorest. The construction worker sweats more than the real estate developer. The hotel cleaner runs more miles than the hotel owner. If wealth were determined by effort, the donkey would be the king of the jungle. The donkey sleeps in the barn. The owner sleeps in the mansion. Why? Because the donkey sells labor, but the owner controls leverage. Today, I am going to tell you two stories. They are separated by 50 years, but the logic connecting them will completely reshape how you view money. One is about a ship, and one is about a failing hotel in the middle of an economic crisis. If you can understand the last 10 minutes of this video, you will never look at pricing or hard work the same way again. Welcome to the Sober Lab. Let's begin. This happened at one of the world's largest shipping companies. A massive ocean liner worth hundreds of millions of dollars suddenly broke down. The engine died. Silence. For every day the ship sat idle, the company lost $500,000. The owner was frantic. He hired a team of top mechanical experts. These men arrived with laptops, complex blueprints, and expensive diagnostic tools. They spent 3 days in the engine room, sweating, taking apart valves, checking circuits. They worked 18-hour days. The result? Nothing. The engine remained dead. Desperate, someone suggested an old, retired engineer named Henry. Henry had been fixing ships since he was a boy. Henry arrived. He carried no computer. He had no blueprints. He just had a small, battered tool bag. He walked around the massive, silent engine like a doctor examining a patient. He listened to the pipes. He felt the temperature of the metal. After 10 minutes, he reached into his bag and pulled out a small hammer. He walked to a specific, obscure red valve near the bottom of the machine. He swung the hammer and hit it once. Clang. The engine roared to life. The ship was saved. Henry put the hammer back in his bag and walked out. The whole thing took less than 15 minutes. A week later, the ship owner received an invoice from Henry. The total was $10,000. The owner was furious. What? You were here for 15 minutes. You hit it once with a hammer. This is robbery. Send me an itemized bill immediately. The next day, the new bill arrived. It read, tapping with a hammer, $1. Knowing where to tap, $9,999. The owner looked at the bill. He sat in silence for a long time. Then he paid it in full. Why did he pay? Because he realized a brutal truth about the business world. Most people try to make money by tapping more. We work overtime. We take second jobs. We sell our time. That is the $1 action. Real wealth belongs to those who know where to tap. Your value is not defined by how much you sweat, but by the irreplaceability of the problem you solve. But this is just the mechanical level. Now, we must go deeper. How do you apply this hammer logic when the economy is crashing and nobody wants to spend money? Old Henry's story is about technical leverage. But in this era, especially with the economic downturn and consumption downgrade, the more powerful weapon is cognitive leverage. Many people think that when everyone is afraid to spend money, the only way to survive is to lower prices. But this is precisely the beginning of death for most businesses. Let's look at Julian's story. Julian inherited a family resort hotel. Located by a scenic lake, business was originally okay. But with the arrival of the economic crisis, the middle class began tightening their belts. Rooms that were originally $500 a night were now completely unbooked. Julian looked at the empty financial statements and made a common-sense decision. Adapt to the consumption downgrade. He told his staff, "We need to survive. Drop the price from $500 to $350. We will compete with the nearby B&Bs. Even if the profit margin is thinner, at least we will have cash flow." Just as he was preparing to publish the discount poster, Mr. Sterling arrived. Sterling looked at the special offer poster and sneered. "Julian, you are committing suicide. In an era of consumption downgrade, if you join a price war, you face a group of customers who are extremely price sensitive and have zero loyalty. You will die faster." Julian despaired. "But sir, everyone has no money. If I don't lower prices, who will stay?" Sterling shook his head. "Wrong. The middle class has no money, but the rich still have money. And in this anxious era, the rich need one thing more than ever: peace, and escape. You don't need to please everyone. You only need to please that 1%. Sterling gave completely opposite commands. Step 1. Rebrand. Tear off the mediocre label of Lakeside Resort. Rename it the Hermit's Manor. Change all your waiters into British butler uniforms. Set a new rule. When seeing a guest, never say, "Welcome." Say, "Welcome home." You are not selling accommodation, you are selling a sense of belonging. Step 2. Price anchor and threshold. Do not drop to $350. Raise the price. Raise it to $800 a night. Also, close all online booking platforms. Implement an invitation-only system. Without a reservation code, they cannot stay even if they pay. Julian broke into a cold sweat. $800 and reservation only? This is driving guests away. Sterling interrupted him. This is the key step 3, targeted traffic. Sterling made Julian take the budget originally meant for discount subsidies and do only one thing: hire a top influencer known for filming quiet luxury and healing content. This blogger did not film a noisy pool party. Instead, he shot a 3-minute video. The screen only showed the morning lake mist, warm towels handed by the butler, vintage vinyl records in the room, and that warm welcome home. The video caption did not mention the price. It only wrote, "In this noisy world, I finally found a place where the soul can breathe. Regrettably, it is hard to book." The night the video was posted, a miracle happened, because it was hard to book, because of the $800 high price, and because of the extreme sense of peace in the video. The hotel instantly became social currency for the wealthy circle. The middle class, who originally thought $500 was too expensive, indeed did not come. But high net worth individuals who desperately needed a spiritual sanctuary in this anxious era began frantically searching for reservation codes. For them, $350 is cheap goods, but $800 plus the Hermit label is spiritual healing. 1 month later, the hotel was not only fully booked, but the waitlist extended to 3 months. Julian looked at the bill. Not only had revenue doubled, but more importantly, these guests were extremely high quality. They didn't complain, they didn't destroy anything, and they even left high tips for the butlers upon leaving. Julian did not change the hotel's renovation, nor did he change the hotel's location. He simply changed the perception. Old Henry's hammer tapped on the engine's red valve. The influencer Julian hired was the hammer in his hand. This hammer tapped on human vanity and anxiety. During an economic downturn, most people are busy lowering prices, competing, and desperately trying to please customers who are unwilling to spend. This is just like that group of engineers sweating profusely, but failing to fix the engine. The true masters know how to use the hammer of scarcity and targeted traffic to directly lock onto people willing to pay for value. So, to you watching this screen, when you complain that business is hard and wages won't rise, ask yourself, are you trying to sell your time cheaply by lowering prices? Or are you looking for that hammer that can leverage high-value people? This is a cruel world. Blind effort is a trap for the poor. Precise leverage is the ladder for the rich. If you haven't followed the Sober Lab, perhaps you will continue to struggle in the mud of price wars. But if you have followed, congratulations, you are learning how to use this hammer. See you in the next episode.